So this is bonus disc, right?
Yep.
What up, everybody?
6.2. Oh, well, hi 3.1,
13.1.
13.1ers, but this goes onto the 13, onto the 6.2 feed.
Right. But the
Okay.
live video where you can see my cool new travel mic.
Nice. There it is. All right.
All right, here we go, dude.
Let's do it.
Ready?
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3, click. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. That's way better.
So much better.
Caught
Weird.
up. Okay.
Yay. All right. Hiding self view here real quick. There we go. Okay. I'm actually feeling less bad about the self view lately.
That's good.
I don't know.
I actually quite like it.
Actually, hey, what's going on, George? Okay. Welcome everybody to the bonus disc.
What up?
Okay, so eagle-eyed viewers, if
Mhm.
you're our 13.1ers, you can watch on video. I'm going through a new mic, a new travel mic we're trying out.
Yep.
So hopefully that rocks. But also you'll notice I'm not in my normal place.
No.
I'm on a
You are.
road trip, dude.
Road trip.
Road trip. And so I texted you
Uh-huh.
because I just had a kernel of something I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time,
Right.
which we need to make sure we get to. But I was like, we got to talk road trips. I want to talk road trip strategies.
Yes.
I want to talk food on road
Yep.
trips. I want to talk, Steven's packing. I know you're like something happened where you and I were talking a couple of weeks ago, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I've been packed for 2 days, and we leave tomorrow." And I was like, "What?"
Did that make it on the podcast or was that off podcast? I don't know. I couldn't remember
Well,
if that made it on.
I didn't jump on it. Like
No, right.
I'm more like marinated on it for a while. I was like,
You're really
because that was
soaked in that statement.
that was a nugget you dropped that I was like, man, like we're so different.
Yeah. So I
Um,
think that kind of got your mind thinking around like maybe we should do a Steven's packing tips. So
right. I wanted to know how you do that.
Right.
How do you do that?
So we're gonna try to get to that in the app. But the broader thing was you drove out to where you are right now, Madison,
Yep.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
From Atlanta.
Yep.
How long is that trip?
It's if you did pedal to the metal,
Yeah.
no stops, like 12 hours.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I couldn't
But
remember if it was more like 8 or more like 12.
no, it's like 12, but usually takes like 14.
Got it.
But so Aaron and I have been road trippers. We're coming up on partner to 19 years of marriage
Yep.
on Monday.
Okay,
No,
right.
2 weeks.
Happy
A week from
anniversary.
Monday.
Okay.
Thank you. 17. So sorry, 16 of those we lived not in Madison
Away
with a
from your
car.
families.
Yep.
Yes.
3 of those we lived not in Madison, but in New York where there was no car.
No need.
Right. Just no need. Just flying.
Yep.
So we've been road trippers for 16 years.
Were you a road tripping kid?
Yeah, we always drove to stuff. Like
Yeah, us
the
too.
line in Home Alone when
Mm-hmm.
he was like, we were always road tripping up to Uncle Arthur's house,
Right.
Aunt Laura and Uncle Arthur's. He's like, we rode in the back seat.
Yeah.
Or like, even previous to that, so my grandmother, Ava Fazolino, is from Boston.
Okay. Right.
And she married Richard Alvin Georgeson.
Mm-hmm.
They met in Boston. He was in the Navy. Then he
Oh.
brought her back to Oregon, Wisconsin.
Okay.
They had 4 boys, my dad being the second youngest.
Right.
And they would do the at least yearly pilgrimage to Boston.
Okay. That's
so
very similar to, and you would go too?
Oh, no,
In the
no, this
car.
was when my dad was a kid.
Oh, your dad. Okay, got it.
And so like he always tells the story that my grandpa, he would come home at 5:00 on that Friday,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and he would drive straight to Boston.
Right.
And he's
Through the
like,
night.
one of us would be on the floor of this thing, one of us would be with grandma
Right.
in the middle row.
Yeah.
One, he said, was, like, sleeping, like, underneath the rear window,
Sure, right, on
like,
that little
straight.
ledge.
Yep, and then one on the seat itself.
Right. Oh,
Um,
that
and I
lucky kid. Who
Right.
got the seat itself?
Oh,
That's prime real
probably
estate.
the oldest. I
Okay,
bet it was
yeah.
the oldest, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
pecking
Yep.
order.
Mhm.
Um, and he would drive straight. He would do this thing where he would, like, take a shower at the truck stop
Right, sure.
and drink coffee just to, like, rejuvenate.
Mhm.
Like, we're not stopping. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
He's one of the I
it's
mean,
been in
Jessica's
my
dad was
yeah,
like that too. They did not stop. If they're
sure.
driving, they just go. And we'll get there
Uh-huh.
when we talk about our preferred way to road trip, but that is definitely a reality out there, right? Like some dads, sorry
Yes.
to be genderist, but I think it's some dads are just like,
Yep.
hold it.
Uh-huh.
We
Right.
are not
Well,
stopping. And God forbid we would stop at a hotel and
oh
sleep
gosh.
over.
Why would we do that? Um,
Right.
so I also think this is so Aaron and I have been talking about this for years and years. But
Hmm.
I think this is one of those things of family of origin that you
Yeah.
bring into a marriage
Yes.
that actually, like, you both carry your traditions and
Hmm.
you have to, like, work them out.
We've talked
You
about
know what I
this with
mean?
music, right? You inherit each other's music or CDs. You inherit
Mhm.
each other's eating habits and
Yep.
like recipes. And
Yep.
I think you inherit your spouse's vacation habits, and road
Oh
trips
yeah.
is probably one of them.
Totally.
So both Jessica and I are from road trip, long car ride families. So we
Sure.
lucked out in that we were used to that and just figured that's the way it should be done.
Mhm.
Now, since we've moved to Arizona, we've never driven home because that's 24 hours.
Right. So when we lived in Miami for a year, that
Yeah.
was a 24-hour drive, and I think we
Wow. Are
did
you
that.
serious? That is
Yeah.
so far away from where you are right now.
Yeah. So we did that. That was our first. So we lived in New York for 3 years, then we lived in
Yeah.
Miami for a year.
Yeah.
And so we did that drive at least 3 times.
Wow. Was that pre-kids?
Oh, yeah. Totally,
Okay, got
pre-kids.
it. We will definitely
Um,
talk about that when we talk about our
yeah.
perfect road trip. Yeah.
Yes.
Age and stage,
Um,
bro.
totally. So the thing is, we would drive no, we didn't drive through Tampa, but then we moved to Tampa,
Mhm.
4 hours closer.
Must have felt like a miracle.
Yes, that
Just
was a
a
twen
little
20-hour
bit
drive.
closer. Yeah. I mean, when you moved to Atlanta, that must have been like, we're almost in our backyard.
Oh, yeah, so that's what it is it's now we're 5 years into Atlanta, and we're like, it still seems super close because
Yeah. Yep.
Atlanta was you were a third of the way there when we were in Miami, and
Right.
you were 7 hours in from Tampa,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It was
So,
like
like
oh wow, we've covered a lot of ground. We're in
yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah, Atlanta was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're so close."
Right.
So now it's like we're in Nashville in 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
Clarksville is like an hour past that, and that used to be our we were almost dead tired
Mhm.
if you can make
Yeah.
it to Clarksville. And now it's like, "Oh, bye Clarksville.
Now you're still feeling fresh.
Feeling fresh. It's light out."
Uh-huh.
So,
Wow.
yeah, so now we're a lot closer. It seems. You know
Right.
what I
It's
mean?
it's all relative. And that I mean,
Yep.
that's the at least you didn't move farther away. Because then
Right.
it would that then you'd go through Atlanta and be like, remember when we used to live here?
Mm, totally.
We so your latest road trip, this feels fresh in your mind because your latest one was like a couple days ago, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Um, we drove to San Diego about a month
Oh,
ago.
right. Yep.
So we
And
we
how far
flew
is that?
we were just in Wisconsin and we flew, even though we knew that was a risk. I read this like um top travel tips from a flight attendant,
Okay.
something that showed up like in my feed. And her
Sure.
first advice was if you can drive,
Really?
don't fly
You mean like just right now in our current
right
moment?
now
I
because
see.
because the workforce is so low, so many flights are
Uh-huh.
getting canceled, the weather in the summer, stuff like that.
Yep.
So we were thinking about flying to San Diego, and then we were like, actually, it's the same amount of time to drive
Mhm. Mhm.
to get to the airport, go through all the stuff, get on the plane, get out,
Mhm.
rent a car, just drive the 8 hours.
Yep.
And it's actually probably faster. So we have done a road trip. It's not 12 hours, but 8. That's still a road trip, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm coming in fairly fresh. I guess that
Okay.
was maybe 6 weeks ago with a lot of thoughts on the perfect road trip for sure.
Okay.
Wait, let me crack this. Hey, how's it going over there in Madison, Wisconsin?
Oh, hey,
Here he goes.
how's it going over there
A
from
double crack.
Madison? Well, actually, from Wisconsin. Oh,
Very rare double crack. That reminds me of when I fell on my butt really hard when I was 5 years old. And I
uh-huh.
and I yelled, I broke my butt because I thought I had gotten a double crack. Like it had cracked the other way. So now it was going to be in quads.
Quadriceps.
I was really, really scared that I had split my butt
Oh no, I
into
broke
into a
my
double crack.
I broke my butt. You
That's what
got to
we
tell
just
my
heard.
kids
The
that
double
one.
crack. Okay, they'd
They'll
love
love
that.
that. They'll love it.
Okay, so I came up with some categories. This is
Okay.
Anthony's brainchild, is road trip, but I can't. My J cannot stand by silently.
Right. You got to
So
plan something.
I came up with some elements of the road trip. And what we are talking about right now is not vacation. We already did an ep about that.
Yep.
This is the drive we're talking about,
Mhm.
right? A
Right.
long drive from one place. I think a road trip usually connotates a certain distance that feels long. 6 to 12 hours.
Yeah, okay. So we how many times did we drive to Eau Claire?
Yeah, I mean, and I just drove from Madison to up close to Eau Claire, and that was a
Uh-huh.
3-hour drive
Yep.
from Madison to Eau Claire. Same to Chicago. Chicago is a 2-hour drive, right?
Yep, 2 and a half ish. Milwaukee was like an hour and a half,
Then you've got
maybe
the Twin
2.
Cities, which was a 6-hour drive from Madison.
Uh-huh.
So
Four
I
and a
don't.
half, 5.
Maybe
Maybe
it's
we drive
because I
differently.
drove so much to Eau Claire, I wouldn't consider that a road trip. That felt just like my drive home.
So,
Three
yeah, see, I don't
hours. No.
I don't think Minneapolis is a road trip.
Okay. Even that. Got it.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, that's just like you're commuting.
A
I
long
don't know.
commute. I would
A
say
long
six
commute.
hours or more.
Okay.
I'm going to lock that in for me. Six
Okay.
hours or more.
I
It
like it.
requires a certain kind of different planning that we're going to be talking about today.
Totally.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, just a different packing, a
Yes.
different planning.
Planning.
What
Hmm.
here's a question I have for you. What's the longest road trip you've ever done?
The longest drive probably was. This doesn't actually is not going to sound like it's that far away, but Eau Claire area, which is northwest Wisconsin,
Mhm.
to the UP, eastern tip of the UP.
Mhm.
There's just so much land in this country. I
It's
mean, even like
land. Yeah, yeah.
international
Oh,
listeners must be like, you can drive for 6 hours. Dude,
yeah.
you can drive for 6 hours and still be in the same state in this
Oh, yeah,
ridiculous country.
when we get to Illinois,
Yeah.
like so getting out of Georgia for us is like 2 hours. You're in Pertner to Chattanooga, the
Hmm.
choo-choo.
Right. One of my
Then
favorite
you
places, Chattanooga. Choo
yep, you're
choos
in
galore.
Tennessee for a short time, and then you're in
Hmm.
Kentucky for a really short time,
Sure.
and then you're in Illinois.
Okay.
Like, straight up now tell me, are you gonna really wanna love me forever?
And I would say no to that question when
No.
you're talking about driving through Illinois.
Flat,
Same as when you're
just
going
yep.
like east to west in some of these states like Nebraska or Texas, bro.
Oh, yeah, totally,
That's like that's 20 hours or something ridiculous like that to drive east to west in Texas. So huge. So,
totally.
anyways, you wouldn't think that northern Wisconsin to the UP is so long, but it's 14 or 15, and we would take that drive all the time, every summer,
Yep.
several times because of camp stuff.
Oh, right.
So, I don't think I've driven much longer than that. Your kind of Miami to Madison thing is something I don't think I've ever done.
Man, dude. Okay, so I'm just looking this up. The longest road trip I ever did is
Mm.
the summer that I spent at Cecil's
Oh,
in
okay,
Seattle.
wait a minute. I'm
Oh,
wrong.
here
You're
we
jogging my memory.
okay.
Okay, so which road trip did you take? You went to Seattle and you drove where?
Madison to Seattle.
Okay, how far was that?
Okay, so like I just put it on my map here.
Yeah, what do you got?
Can you see that? Like you can actually see the
1 day
globe.
and 3 hours. It's they don't want to count in hours anymore.
Right.
Now you're into day.
Like you can see the globe when you pull it out. Yes, that says
They need to
that's
show you the
2000.
curvature of the earth.
Yeah. But that's 2000 miles, dude.
Uh, Ridiculous. That is so long.
How much?
Did you ever drive to
And
LA from
dude, and I
Seattle?
did it by myself.
What
Yep.
but you weren't the only driver. You're saying you were the only person that you did
Only
that.
person.
And
I
how many stops did you take?
I drove
I
that
mean hotels.
blue Chevy van, no hotels.
Did you sleep at all?
I I it's like one of those things of like when you're 18 to 25, no offense to any of our listeners that are that, you're brain dead.
Not,
Like
not a good thing to be when you're driving 1 day and 3 hours.
but like
Also brain dead.
yeah, like you know that thing like where they say your brain isn't fully formed until you're 25 or whatever. Um
Yeah.
you don't you don't fully like understand that your actions right now like
Hmm.
affect the rest of your life.
Right. You
Driving
probably
through
took two
mountains.
years off your life doing that.
Oh man. Like it was so dumb.
Hmm.
Like so I did stop at Calgary, so I drove through Minneapolis,
Right.
which probably added
It
maybe that
probably
was the way
added
to
time.
go.
Well, I don't know. Look at the map that you just pulled up. Are they going through
I
Minneapolis?
closed it already.
Um,
Yeah.
so I went Seattle to Los Angeles, me and Kraus.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
I
I did the northern. Remember?
Yeah,
You and I
that's right.
traded that. I
That's
drove
right.
north
You
to
drove
Seattle.
up and I drove down with him.
Yep.
I forgot that detail. That's weird. That is a
Remember?
crazy detail that connects us that I didn't even remember.
Okay. Do you remember we tried to save money by buying a round trip ticket?
Yes, we did. And it was at that point, was it? No, it wasn't. That was pre 9/11. So I'm surprised it didn't work. Because all these pre 9/11 movies where you can do
Right.
whatever you want to
They
on
just
in
do stuff.
airports and airplanes. You can just like get on and sit wherever you want,
Right.
smoke and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Uh,
Right.
but even pre 9/11 flight would not allow us to buy one ticket and
Because
just trade.
we were gonna share, but remember we were gonna like try to share like an ID
We were
because we
we
were gonna
were
like
having a lot of conversations about how similar do we look right now? Could we pull this off? Yeah.
yeah
Could you ship your ID? It was something like that. You
yeah
would have
yeah
to
yeah
mail your ID to me.
uh-huh
I would get on the plane and then
yep
I would just give it to you when I met you in Seattle and you would fly back. And I think we
yeah
just decided it's too big of a risk. We don't want to become like banned from flights
yeah
forever.
some watch list or something like that.
I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that. Wow.
Hmm.
Just our lives are so long, dude. You just forget these nuggets, these incredible little nuggets.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, I'm
It's
glad we're doing this
crazy.
episode. Anyways, Kraus and I drove down. That's 18 hours. So that probably
Okay.
is my longest road trip ever. And that's for sure road trip material.
Wait, what about when you drove to Arizona? What's Madison?
We never drove to Arizona. We have never
What?
driven.
What? What about like a moving truck?
We put it all into a truck,
Oh, really?
a big semi.
Okay.
It was like this thing where you could rent part of a semi,
Yeah. Right.
packed
Okay.
up half a semi with all of our stuff, sent it ahead of us, went to
Uh-huh.
Jessica's sister's wedding in Madison,
Yep.
flew out to Arizona and met it in our driveway.
So you had no car?
No, what? Yeah, we sold both of our cars before we moved. That's right.
Okay.
Yep. Um, I'm remembering one other road trip I took. I think maybe I told you about this. Spring break, my senior year. Spring break.
Yeah.
My friends David and Michael and I from college
Are these the
We
feline
No, these
dudes?
are not my feline friends.
Okay.
Who, by the way, there's just a documentary made about them, and it's so good.
Oh
Um,
man.
we decided we wanted to go to Nashville, so this is not as long, but um, we decided to do it without maps.
Mm,
So we drove from Eau Claire to Nashville just on our knowledge of the United States.
brilliant.
It was
Did you
so
find it?
fun. We found it. Yep. Like
Nice.
street signs, of course, you could use, but we weren't allowed to ask for directions and we weren't allowed to look at any maps.
That is so stinking fun. I love
It
that.
it was awesome. But that was only 11 hours. I'm looking right now. It probably was longer than
Yeah.
that because we got lost, but for
Right.
some reason we got in our head we want to go to Nashville and we were like, where is that? And we're like, don't look. I just got a great idea.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, um, yep. One thing that has changed massively, other than that just being fun,
Yeah.
was the introduction of maps on our phones, on our
Mm-hmm.
Palm Pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think
Our
that drive that
trios,
our
our
trios,
Dell
plies.
Axims.
Yep.
Yep.
Um, I think when I did that drive to Seattle, I think I downloaded like MapQuest.
Right. MapQuest was big for us in college.
Yep.
MapQuest.com.
Okay. Would print it out. Because like when
Yep.
I was a kid, what my parents did, they would go to partner to AAA
Oh yeah. We had
and
a
you'd get
real
the
map, like an atlas.
well, no, you know what they would get? They'd get this thing called a triptych,
Oh, okay.
where some nice person that works at AAA would make them a custom map with
Wow.
like a highlighter and like
Uh-huh.
every turn, like and you would like
That is
keep turning
awesome.
the pages.
Yeah.
So
That
cool.
is totally like Google Maps of the 90s and the 80s.
Yeah. Welcome to the 90s, Mr.
Welcome to the 90s,
Banks.
Mr. Bonks. Um,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
so I agree with you. Game changer. Because even when I would print up MapQuest.com directions,
Uh-huh.
you know what you're dealing with a college printer in your bedroom, where it's
Oh.
like I can't hardly see. It's so like light.
Yeah.
So
For
you're
sure.
driving at night with these badly printed
Yeah. See through like
gray, light gray
yeah.
directions.
Right. Yep.
And then you lose one page and it's like, I guess I'm dead. What do I do?
Here, I know I drove once. Let's see here. I drove to Washington D.C. once.
Okay.
Um, Washington D.C. directions. This is cool because I'm actually here at home. Oh
Yeah.
no, that's only 13 hours. New
Okay.
York is probably 16 hours. I drove to Calgary, Canada once,
It's
but
so
that's
amazing to me how close, because it's called the Midwest. You know what I mean?
right. Yep,
But the Midwest is really east in the country. It's very
totally.
close to the East Coast because you're talking Seattle was a day and 3 hours,
You're right.
and it's like less than half the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be called the Mid East. Come on,
Hmm.
US of A. Let's change it. Yeah, I'm
Oh
sure people in
man.
Wisconsin would love the change from Midwesterners to Mideasterners.
It'd be like, what? What? I mean,
Lots of those guys would love that.
it isn't it huge though?
The
Isn't the
mid the
Midwest?
Midwest, it goes so east though. It goes to
Yeah.
some people consider
Oh,
Pennsylvania part of the Midwest.
sure. Ohio,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure. Yeah.
It's like that Great Lakes, the not New York, of course, but those other states that are like south of the Great Lakes are all considered by some to be
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah. Well, basically it's New York and LA and they're like everybody else who gives a rip.
Shut up. Just
Right.
fly over those morons.
That's what they say.
That
But
that is
we
what
know
they say.
better.
They're sitting in their first class seats saying that to each other, looking out the window, saying that out loud
High-fiving
to each other,
morons.
clinking their glasses. Morons. Okay, I came up with some elements of a field trip that we can discuss. I'm sure we're gonna get through all these.
Oh, we can
They
try. We
all
can try.
they all start with an S.
Mhm.
Well, okay. So
Well, we were texting last night. We added a few that have S's in them.
one,
'Cause I
and some of them are quite a big stretch. So we've got snacks,
Mhm.
seating. That's like who's driving and who's in the back and everything. Speed. I'm curious about
Huge
how
one.
fast you drive.
Huge.
Songs. That's music
Uh-huh.
or other things. Uh, Stops. And I'm talking rest stops, restaurants, hotels. Sleep. Do you sleep?
Mhm. Mhm.
And here, sleep was your punch up.
Yeah,
So I said, do you have any other ones? You added
I
sleep.
added sleep. I added sleep. Okay, then I added
Wait,
the rest of them.
yeah,
Oh,
you added these. These are Anthony's at the end. Sudoku (parentheses games),
hey, I tried.
and then the final one is pets, and the S is capitalized.
Pet. No, no, and I added seasons.
Oh right, shoot, I didn't get that on here. Seasons. Oops, I forgot to type it on our new system, which is, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but Notes app on your phone. It's our new, it's the new thing we do now, so that we can share it in real time. So I just put in seasons. Okay,
I love it.
let's start with snacks because I think this is kind of the big one.
Okay, this is the big one. So this is the kernel. This is actually
Yeah.
the kernel that we started with.
Right.
What I wanted to know
Yep.
is, and this has evolved over our Aaron and my 16 years of full-time road trippers at least once or twice a year,
Yeah.
uh 12 12 hours or longer,
Mm-hmm.
is do you like to pre-package food or do you like to buy it on the way?
Great question. I think it depends on what food you're talking about.
Right.
I
So,
think snacks. I think so I would say my gut reaction is pre-pack snacks, purchase meals.
okay. Nice.
But I mean, there's crossover there. That if you're at the gas station, you're like, ooh, there's a Reese's peanut butter cup with pretzels inside. You're gonna buy that.
Yep. Totally.
Or if we have the wherewithal to plan well, I think we might pack sandwiches for
Okay.
a meal, but I don't think more than that.
Now you guys did, I remember the Grauman family travel tradition. And my parents did this one too, make sandwiches in the sandwich bag, in the bread bag.
Yes. That is that something you marry into also? Because both me and Jessica do that. You take all the bread out of the sandwich sleeve,
Yep.
make whatever sandwiches you're making, peanut butter and
Yep.
jelly or a simple turkey sandwich, or in my family it was bologna with mustard.
Right.
And then you just slide it back in as is. And so then you have that. Why waste the bag, right?
Yep. Totally.
Yeah. Yes, we still do that. We did that and do
Okay.
that.
Did you do that on your San Diego trip?
We did.
Wow.
I got some flack for it because I mixed sandwiches. Oh boy.
Oh. Oh.
I put peanut butter and jelly on the bottom and I
Uh-huh.
stacked turkey sandwiches above them in the same sleeve.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, "You're crushing the peanut butter sandwiches. It's going to get all squishy. What if I want one of those?" And I was like, "Just open it up from the bottom." They weren't having it.
That's great.
I shan't be making that mistake again.
Okay, so this would be, I think this would be one, this there are two main things that are different about me and Aaron in the road trip department.
Okay.
One is, if it were up to me, we wouldn't bring anything and we would buy everything.
Okay. Now, I'm wondering if this also goes to other things that you pack. I don't think it does. My perception of how you pack is the opposite of that, where you bring everything you own just in case, because you forget that there are stores where you're going. In this case, it's you don't want to eat any house food if you're going on vacation.
Like, even if you have cool, fun chips at home, you still want to buy new ones. You know what I mean?
It's the speaking of chips, there's also a Reese's peanut butter cup with chips inside.
Oh, really? I haven't tried
Yes,
that. Oh, wow.
it's
I haven't
pretty
seen
good.
that. I
It's
would try
hard to
it.
mess up a Reese's peanut butter cup.
It's perfect.
I mean, they're trying to with these chips, but it still works.
I saw, okay, let's see, cookie M&M or something, or like
Right. Mm-hmm.
birthday cake M&M.
Yep.
Some
Lots of
of
new
these,
M&M flavors.
some of
Fudge.
those, Yep. Some of those flavors
Uh-huh.
and some of the Oreo flavors I think are sick.
Okay. That's why we really need to do a bonus disc episode, either about where we taste test different M&Ms, maybe
Yeah.
around Halloween.
Love it.
And I really do want to do an Oreo because I think of any treat, Oreo now is the king of varietals.
Totally. Varietals, seasonals.
You're right.
Reese's
Special colors. I
does.
mean,
Yep.
Reese's might be a close second
M&M's
with like,
though.
yeah, M&Ms might be just like Reese's, like the way that they're working with chocolate and the different levels of chocolate versus peanut butter, dark chocolate,
Yeah.
and then the mix-ins. There's even that Reese's peanut butter cup with Reese's Pieces mixed in.
Right. Yeah.
It seems like overkill, but it does taste amazing.
Yeah. They're all
So
good.
these are the things that you have in your mind, like what if we go to a gas station and there is a,
Uh-huh.
a Doritos flavored ruffle chip or whatever.
Totally. Well, okay, what do we get on this trip? I got Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch Doritos.
What did you think?
Dude, unreal.
Wow.
Yeah. That might be my favorite chip of the summer so far.
It's a knockout. That
Yep.
is a good chip.
Yep. Like we loved it. We love Takis. Do you guys do
Yep.
Takis out there?
We sure do. Yes. Lots of Takis.
So that's better than a Taki.
I agree. I don't like
And
Takis that much. The boys love Takis. I'm not a huge Taki fan.
we're in the same boat, dude. Lily always
Okay.
wants me to try them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, they kind of taste fake.
Don't taste good to me. You're
I'm
right.
sorry, Lily. I love you.
And the funny thing is I don't usually like the flamin' hot stuff.
Yep.
But I tried one of those
Hmm.
flamin' hot, which doesn't sound like it should work because shouldn't flamin' hot things be red?
Right.
You've got the blue bag.
Yep.
And so I always think the chip is blue. It's not blue.
Right.
But to put a flamin' hot on there is an interesting idea. I decided to try it. And man, I'll never go back. I
I'm
will
so
once they discontinue.
I know. I'm so glad we found the same thing and tried it. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was
But
road trip.
Yep, it was road trip and I
Great.
had to get it.
And it paid off.
It paid off so well. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so that was a great find and it's
Mhm.
actually spicy.
Yeah, it does have
I
a kick. Sometimes you're like, not hot.
No,
But this one
totally.
has a nice hot
Hot or
heat.
not.
Hot heat.
Um,
Yeah, hot or not.
um,
Speaking of old websites, mapquest.com or hotornot.com, two regularly visited websites.
Google search. And then there was I think it's Paqui, Paqui. I think that's
Huh.
the brand. Makes ghost pepper
Oh,
chips and those were awesome.
wow. Okay.
Like I
That
kept
sounds
being
great.
like, "Aaron, please take these away."
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, don't. And
Yeah,
like
I know.
they were so good. And of
Yes.
course, we brought um our Snyder cut with us.
Number one,
Buffalo wing
I
and
was
honey
it was on
mustard.
the tip of my tongue, and I wish it was literally on the tip of my tongue.
I know,
Those
me too.
honey mustard, onion, honey mustard and onion, or is it the other way
Yep.
around? Honey mustard and onion
I think.
trash, the leftover trash
Yep.
from the Hanover's
Pieces.
factory.
Pieces, not chunks. No, chunks, not pieces. It's got to be just broken pieces.
I suppose we could go back to the entire episode we recorded about those, but
About Snyder cut.
yeah, that's good. Let's actually skip down to stops while we're talking about this, because you're talking about rest
okay.
stops. You're
Great.
talking about would you buy a meal also? Sounds like you much prefer, and I mean we're in step here. Is
Yep.
that I'm like, why are we packing sandwiches
Exactly.
when we are on the highway in this great nation?
Yeah.
You can eat whatever you want. It is like
Yep.
the throne of fatness is calling. It's welcoming you in with open arms.
Yep, it's with arms wide open. It's like
Oh man, with arms wide open for sure.
it's the perfect excuse.
Yeah.
like to eat. Yeah, like to
You
eat
you
whatever you
remove
want.
the Noom app from your phone
Yep.
so you won't be tempted by it.
Get behind me. Get
Get
thee
behind
behind me.
get thee behind me, Noom. And I mean, you took now. This is another thing about Anthony on vacation that people don't know. I get so many texts from you. When I'm in Madison, I'll send you one or two things I think you'd be interested in. Here's the capability. Remember, we were there. Ian's Pizza. You don't hear from me for
Yeah.
2 weeks. I mean, I wish people could see the amount. And some of them, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. You sent me this picture of just a normal hotel room. And I think I responded, cool. No punctuation.
I knew exactly what you meant, dude. I was like, I knew it.
You were probably like, I went too far.
Cool.
Anyways, what was that? Oh, you sent me a picture of another thrilling pic. The menu at McDonald's. and then, of course, 100 texts later, we're still talking about the pillowy bun of the. And so McDonald's obviously a mainstay for a road trip because there's no glut of McDonald's. There's just always a McDonald's.
Yep. Every single exit. I mean, you could probably put that up there with like family debate is like when you see exit signs and you have to make votes. Where are we going? Like, or like kids can trade like, okay, I wanted this that time. We'll get yours next time. Or like, so like actually one of the things Isla is loving is mozzarella sticks.
Okay.
Like,
and why not?
So
those are good.
Like, yeah, like so you discover like something, you know, when you're a kid and you like discover something that you like really like.
Definitely.
And like you had it once and you're like, where was that? And the
Yep.
place we got them was Arby's.
Okay.
We never go to Arby's, but somehow one time we found it and she had the mozzarella stick like 3 years ago. And it's like one of those kid memories of like,
right now she pines for it. She wants those mozzarella sticks.
And it was like a stick and I was like, mozzarella sticks?
Fried,
and then we had to find it.
Yeah.
So that's a treat. A road trip treat. A Happy Meal is a road trip treat.
Yeah.
But McDonald's is for us, McDonald's and Starbucks on road trips are like the two. See, but Erin doesn't like McDonald's.
Exactly. That's our issue with Jessica. She doesn't like McDonald's, and so
she stays in the car. Doesn't eat it.
So sad.
She takes our dog on a walk.
We leave them to their own devices while we go in and just smell and bask and marinate, like you were saying, in the McDonald's goodness. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it's funny. We're in the same boat here with meals when it comes to road trips. Like I see it as an opportunity.
Yes.
To go and eat at fast food and things like that. Not saying that's right, but
nope. But that's it. So like, if you could pack a sandwich or forget a sandwich and then you have to eat, right? Like
right,
now,
not our fault. We have to eat.
Like it's like
the way God made us.
I gotta recharge. I've been sitting here for 6 hours.
You expect me to move my hand slightly back and forth and also my ankle and not eat 2,500 calories worth of meat and fried potatoes?
Totally. So plus they have clean bathrooms, and I texted you, they have the fountain drink, which you can fill up all like 8 of your water bottles that you bring with that beautiful ice.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's like we've made it to the oasis.
Yeah.
You know, like we've made it to the watering hole.
Yep.
Got like on Survivor, like you got to fill all of them up.
It's a big ordeal
with that triple filtered water. It's the best water, dude.
Great water.
Best water.
Perfect water.
It's perfect water. That's why their Coke is so good, right? So and then gas stations is the other one.
Right.
I mean, so you get fuel for the car, fuel for your bod.
You don't have to go
Um,
inside, of course, because you're paying for all of it on the card outside.
you're right. You
But I
well,
like to
you
go in for a
do.
little stroll, even if
Yeah,
I don't
well,
have to
and
go
you
to the bathroom.
no, see, that would be another tip is always go, even if
That's
you don't
true.
have to.
What am I talking about? I always do
Always,
go, even if
yeah,
you
because
don't
it's
have to, because what if you now are you a there's nobody around for a while. I have to pee. I'm just gonna stop on the side of the road and pee guy.
oh man,
This fits in
we
the
call it
stops category.
we call that a bush wee. Um,
Good name.
it's it's from Bluey. I think
Oh,
that's
I
what they
see.
call it in like Australia.
Interesting. Yeah, the bush. I get it.
Um, so we're accustomed to that on hikes.
Yep, definitely.
Um, now remember, you have three boys, one girl. We have one boy, three girls,
This is why I asked.
three ladies.
Right.
Um, so that no,
Okay.
oh yeah, we no, like
Okay.
I mean, it's not like we're above it. Like,
That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing no, we just don't do that. So it's pretty rare for me, but I mean, when you're road tripping through the Southwest,
I'm plugging in my computer.
okay, when you're road tripping through the Southwest, you are going 50, 60, 120 miles without a rest stop sometimes.
Sure.
And so
Sure.
if it hits at a certain point, the other good news about that is that traffic is low. And so I will pull out onto an exit
Yep.
that also is a road that has 100 miles that way with nothing.
Hmm.
And I'll just pull up a little bit, open both car doors on the left side, stand
Yep.
between them, and pee straight out into
Okay. Sure.
nothingness. There's no trees or anything.
Yep.
And
Sure.
usually, I would say 95% of the time, no other cars come by on that exit nobody's using. So
Yep.
that's how I do it. I'm not a highway stopper.
Right.
That annoys me, seeing a guy pulled off on the shoulder of the highway peeing. No,
Right.
no.
No.
A little bit of
Um.
privacy is needed.
Yeah, and when nature calls, dude, no judgment. Like what happens on the course, right? When we're running,
Yep.
stays on the course. What
Yep.
happens on the road trip, in some sense. Now, do you remember? Do you know the story about me, Alex, and Chad going to a concert, like a Christian rock concert?
Um, did you
And
pee into bottles?
nope.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
dude.
not it's
So
not a story I know.
okay, so I'm driving the blue van, right?
This is a van that Anthony used to own, shaped like a vacuum, shaped like a
Yeah.
handheld vacuum. Yes,
Yep.
it's an
Chevy
Astro, Chevy
Chevy
Astro.
Astro van,
Right.
converted or luxury converted. What were those called?
Yeah.
Conversion van.
Right. A conversion van.
Running boards, LED lights on the bottom, a sofa, had wood panels, it had cup
So,
holders,
yes.
ca- four captain's chairs. Um,
VHS. Just kidding. Did it
yep.
have VHS? It
We
did?
had a Emerson VHS that we would put in and out of
I
it.
see. Yep.
Yes.
Got it.
Full Boston Acoustics custom system that you could plug in RCA into the stereo.
And Anthony treated it with all the respect it deserved.
Yeah, I mean, the back captain's chair had a huge stain from a Popeye's chicken wing or like drumstick. Like it was just there for the life of the car. Just
So you and Alex and Chad are in the Astro van
yep, we're in the party van.
going to a
And
Christian concert.
yeah, I think it was yeah, I think we went to Augustana. I think we went to visit Slaw, dude.
Okay. Right. A girl
Um,
when Alex was dating her?
yep,
Okay, got it.
ish. I think they were, I don't know.
I wonder. Yeah. All right. So you're
Uh,
going to visit a friend.
yep. And I think we also caught a concert, picked up Andy Opie.
Okay. Yep.
Um, went to a like Supertones or something like that. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so we're like driving, we're like super late, and Alex was like, "We're not pulling over, but I got to whiz so bad."
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Now I remember the story.
now
The
you remember
setup
it.
now has reminded me of what happened.
Okay, so
Yep.
I'm driving. Chat. I think yeah, I'm pretty
Chad's
sure
in
I'm
the
driving.
back. Chad's in the back.
Yep.
Yes. That's
Alex
important
rolls.
to this story,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
And Alex rolls down the window, and he's like, "Guys, I'm just gonna go." And we're going
Right.
like
I'm
80.
just gonna point and shoot.
Yeah, we're going 80 miles an hour, dude. And Alex just starts peeing, dude. And
Yes.
it just sprays all over us.
Just right back in. Of course. It's not going to go out.
And so we're like, Alex, stop. And he's like, I can't.
No, you can't stop. This is something that girls don't understand. You can't
Right.
just stop, even in a situation like that. That hurts.
We're like, kink it, bro. Just kink it. And he's like,
Right.
I can't.
something.
He's
Does
whizzing.
anybody have a tourniquet?
um,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Well,
So
when you
that
have
would
multiple
be,
people in a car, right? You're
yep.
also managing all of their bathroom needs. And
Oh,
this is an
totally.
age and stage thing, right? When you have kids, little kids, I would say in particular, it's like, gotta go again. Okay, well, let's find another rest stop. And so you're adding time to the road trip because of that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, we've even like brain dead stuff. Like me and Chad would um trade driving
While
while
you're driving.
driving.
Oh my gosh.
Like I,
Our mom's just had a heart attack listening to
yeah.
this. Sorry, mom.
Like
And I
we would
would
be,
I would be so mad if I found out that my kids did that.
dude. We would set we would have the cruise control set at 75 in the
I'm
party van.
sweating.
Me and Chad would change drivers and not pull over.
We're gonna. Can we get arrested for this now?
I don't know. It's like
I almost welcome it. Please come and arrest us. We deserve it.
we were idiots, dude.
Yes. So nothing like that ever happens anymore. We're smarter than that. And if Jack, I know if you're listening, Lillian, Isla, if you ever do that,
Yeah.
we're gonna be
Seriously.
so mad. Okay, let's speed through some of these other essays.
Okay,
Well,
got
while
it.
we're talking about seating,
Uh-huh.
a
There we
change in
go.
Seats, let's talk
Seating.
about seating. Do you always drive?
Pretty much. So
Okay.
not to be genderous, dudes.
How dare you?
I know. So with the genderous thing,
Mhm.
just as far as stops go,
Yeah.
100% of the time I give zero judgment and I don't give a rip about stopping.
I
I will
welcome it.
I will stop every 2 minutes. I don't care.
I love
Like
stopping.
yep, I love stopping.
Mhm.
Like Aaron's like, I'm so sorry, I gotta go, and I'm like, well, I don't
Great.
care. Yep,
Yeah.
let's do it. I'm like,
Great
I already
news.
had to go too. Yep.
Yep.
So 0% judgment.
Mhm.
Since we've had kids, it's probably 90 to 95% me drive.
Okay.
When Aaron and I drove back in the day when it was
Yeah.
just us, like from Florida, that was
Mhm.
probably 30, 70, sometimes 50, 50. I mean, she's a beast, man. And
Yeah.
the thing is, Erin, as soon as a car starts and she's in the passenger seat, she falls asleep.
Right.
So,
Okay. And that's our
but
another
if she,
S. We have that. That's an added S. Sleep. So
yeah,
Aaron
yeah,
will sleep in the passenger seat.
totally. And good, like it lulls her to sleep.
Great.
We'll save audiobooks and podcasts and stuff.
She
Music,
probably
falls
needs
asleep.
it. She probably needs to sleep.
Totally.
So
Yep.
it's like,
But
oh,
if she's
what a relief.
but when she's in the driver's seat,
Yeah.
dude, she is a chatter. Like it's awesome. Like she tells
Oh.
stories.
Okay.
So like back in the
I
day
can
of
totally see that about her.
like she always has like a sucker or like hard candy to like
She's
stay
on.
awake.
She's
Tons of
on in
coffee.
that role.
She's
Yeah.
so on.
Yep.
She goes
Makes
for that
sense.
one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so sleep was that. I was just curious if you guys sleep at rest stops or sleep in like at hotels and stuff.
Hotels.
Yeah.
So let me just quickly say seating. Jessica and I trade off, and something beautiful has happened.
Okay.
We have two more drivers.
Wow.
So when
dude,
we came
this
back from
is
San Diego, I sat in the back seat.
on a road trip.
It was
Dang.
awesome.
Dang.
Slept, read, did my own thing in the back seat. Noah and Jack driving. There was a point where Noah and Jack were in the front and me and Jessica were in the back.
Dang.
No funny business. No funny business, but it was nice. It was like we had our
Mom
own
and
little
Dad, are you guys making out back
Hey,
there?
quit it. Am I gonna have to come back there? Um, so yeah, and sometimes it was like Jessica in the front and Noah driving or Jack driving and me in the front seat. And I'll tell you, changing it up made that road trip blast by.
Sure.
Shifting this change of scenery, man, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
So I'll
fun.
just say that about seating, I should say sleep. I We're none of us, neither Jessica nor I are very good sleepers in general.
Okay.
And so sitting up in the car, I don't think I can sleep very well. She can't at all. Um, so we do hotels. We didn't on the 8 hour. That was a straight
Yeah,
shot.
8 hours is fine. Sure.
But um longer than that, hotel. And we learned pretty early in our marriage, even before kids, that we just can't handle super cheap hotels.
Mm,
This is going to
yep.
sound, listen, I'm not Mr. Bonks. I don't need a $300,000 wedding for my child,
Uh-huh.
but I gotta have a bed that is comfortable.
Mm,
And I gotta have a carpet that is not rank. And I
right.
gotta have a shower that doesn't have bugs in it.
Yep. Okay, so the hotels from No Country for Old Men, not the best?
No. So I guess it's a hotel versus a motel,
Or
right?
motels, right. Yep. Right.
So I mean, we haven't not done motels, but do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
$30 a night. We can't do
Nope.
that anymore.
Mm-mm.
And so I'm talking more in the like Holiday Inn Express or
Yeah.
Comfort Inn level. We're not doing anything fancy. And if you get like a breakfast, you're lucky. But we're looking
Right.
for a hotel that has comfortable beds and a carpet you can walk on without turning your socks black.
Right. So a comfortable bed,
Yep.
clean room for
Yep.
sure. We're 100%. That's been, I mean, was that you said that was like towards the beginning of even when it was like your guys are 22,
Yeah.
like even
I
felt
mean,
that way.
we just
Yeah.
had two really bad experiences.
Sure. We had one really bad experience. We had
That
to,
we should
yep.
have called it quits after the one.
Sure. Okay.
It's just like we're already, I don't know, we're already spending money on this trip. We can save a little bit more
Uh-huh.
to bump up to $100 instead of
Yep.
50 for a night.
Yep. I think that's the that could be family of origin stuff. So like
Yeah.
Aaron's parents are very into really high quality hotels.
And my parents, it was nights
Yeah.
in.
Right. Sure.
And I
Mine
didn't
too.
care about that when I was a kid. But and so when on our honeymoon, when we road trip, Jessica and I road tripped out to New York City,
Yep.
I scheduled all these nights in stays,
Okay.
and it was nasty, bro.
Really? Okay. I've
Just
never been to one.
nasty.
Okay. It was nasty.
Not a good way to start. Let's just
That's
say
funny.
that.
Okay. Um yeah, actually I don't really remember what my parents got. It's not like that, but
And I will say that I think the quality of a nightstand has dropped significantly, and I didn't know that. It
sure.
seemed fine when I was a kid, but
Sure.
it wasn't fine anymore. Ugh.
Yep. I think I probably would have been fine with that, and Aaron was like 0%, and so we only ever did once,
Yeah.
and we drive past it every single time just around Nashville.
Oh, okay. It still exists. This
Oh
hotel
yeah, no, this last time it's been knocked
bulldozed.
down.
Wow.
Yep. It
Okay.
was like there were like cockroaches
Yeah.
and like it was I mean, yeah, it was really bad. I mean, it was
Wow.
super dirty.
That's
The
gross, dude.
stains and stuff, like, it was really, really nasty.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just if you're gonna stop at a hotel, you want to sleep. That's why you're stopping there.
Except you need rest, for
You need
sure.
rest. And so if it's not a
Comfort, yep.
place where you can rest, one time we got to a place and we're like, they wouldn't give us our money back, but I was like, it doesn't matter. We have to go
Yep, yep.
because we need to sleep. So I
That
don't know.
that was actually
Rough.
our road trip last summer in Effingham. So normally now we stay in Effingham, Illinois.
Love it. Yes, that's a great
Um,
town name.
and yep, we pulled into the because we have Indy
Oh, right.
usually with us,
You
who's our
that
dog.
that makes your hotel choices slimmer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, Fairfields are great.
Okay.
Is where we stayed at, but we
Mhm.
tried one that we found online, and we pulled in, and I went in with Lily to get the keys,
Yep.
and I went in and I walked out, dude.
Yep.
Like it was kind of sketchy area,
Yeah. Sure.
uh, and I was like, I'm sure this would be fine, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that was last summer, and then we found
Okay.
this other one, and it was so yeah. I mean, we dropped like $130,
Yeah.
just
I
walked
would
away.
say it's worth it. You got to walk away from
Yep.
some things. One of the hotels we were in one time, one of the bad experiences, they had a condom dispenser in the bathroom in the room.
Uh,
Just
with a vibrating bed.
no, the bed didn't vibrate, probably because it was broken. Hey, this bed doesn't even vibrate. Okay. Let's do a couple more of these. I'm just curious about how fast you drive. Now, this is
Okay,
no
so we've got
judgment. Like, do
nope.
you
This is
drive
good.
the speed limit?
I like this. Okay, we've got snacks, seating,
Yep.
stops, sleep. Okay, speed. Um. Okay, so here I love 75 miles per hour.
You love
I
driving it, or you love when that's the limit?
no, I love 75 because I know if we have 150 miles, it's 2 hours. 225 is 3 hours.
It's very
300
like
is
race math you're doing, right? When
yep.
you're
I
running the
it's
race and you're
totally
constantly doing that, that's
yep.
a constant like low hum in the back
Yep.
of my mind is that math.
Totally. You just looking at those miles,
Yep.
checking them off. It's very right. We've talked about that tons of times. Like a marathon is like a road trip,
Yeah.
and a road trip is like a marathon.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I love 75.
Mhm.
Um, I do like to sit at 82.
Okay. 10% over.
Yep. So I like to sit at 82. Um,
Mhm.
yeah,
Now,
I do
I
like to
read
speed.
or heard one time. No, it wasn't
Sorry.
even read. I heard one time that going too fast is bad on your gas mileage.
Mm,
And so if you stick in between the 70 and 80, you're not working your car so hard that it's using too much gas. I
got
have
it.
no idea. This is one of these things, dude. I have no idea
Yep.
if that's true,
Somebody just told us that.
but it keeps me at 79.
79.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Um, and then I also heard that police don't pull you over if you're going less than 10% over. I also have
Yep.
no idea if that's true.
Totally.
That's a fact, a probably false fact that I hold on to. And so
Uh-huh.
if I eke up, it's up to the 82 because that's just under 10% over 75.
Yep. Do you ever hit 88?
No, I probably wouldn't go that fast. That starts to worry me. And also, what if I into the past and it just took me to the beginning of the road trip? I'd be so disappointed not to do it all again.
Uh-huh.
Shouldn't have gone
Yeah.
88.
Right. I think I like touch 88 every now and then to be funny.
Yeah, dang, I've never thought about that, but that is funny. I mean, I can't deny that's funny.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you're like creeping up on it and you're like, that'd be funny. Let's just see what happens. But never normally. Like so it's like 82 would be max.
Yeah.
75 is pretty normal because of the like
Hmm.
but see, I
Yeah, the
think
150 thing.
82 yep, the one. But I figure if you do 82, you're actually sticking with the 75, and then you get your stops for free.
Did we both hear these facts from Alex?
I wonder because I've heard these exact same facts.
And I'm not Googling them
Nope.
because they're working for me.
Right.
Um, okay, can we talk about games? You guys play games in the
Yeah,
Sudoku?
yeah.
This is the Sudoku category.
Yeah.
Sudoku. Yeah.
So this is for us. We're in the I Spy age still.
Yep. I remember those
Um,
days. I
we
Spy.
we love Padiddle.
What's that?
So like when you see a car with a light out,
Right. Got it.
remember that?
Yep.
Um,
Do you
And
ever play
then
like license plate poker or whatever, like something with the
oh
license
yeah,
plates? Who can
totally.
get the most
Do
states? Yeah.
for sure. License
Yep.
plate or like alphabet game
Yeah.
where you look for something with every letter. That's super fun.
Right.
Um
Yep.
and then like actually this past time we got a Yahtzee game.
Okay.
Like it's actually made for the car. So like made
Yes.
for car games I actually think are
It's
super
all
fun.
contained, right? Like you can't
Yep.
spill the dice. It's all in a big kind of glass
Right.
container. Yeah, plastic.
So frigging loud this was. And
Yeah, that is a risk you take with some of those travel games.
yeah,
They're all so loud.
it hurts so bad, dude. It's actually what I did is I
Uh-huh.
had a koozie, like
Sure.
one of
Put that
like a
around
foam
it.
one.
Yep.
No, no, I put it inside it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Isla, try this. Jam the koozie inside it, and then you
Mhm.
can shake up the dice."
Right.
Silent. It was great.
That's a
Revelation.
great life hack.
Yep.
How to make your travel Yahtzee quieter. Something people have been
Yep.
asking for from us. Hey, when are they going to talk about that?
They're
Um,
like
we because we have teens, it's
Yep.
not so much games anymore
Yep.
because they're 16 and 18.
Yeah.
They're if they get bored, they've got plenty of stuff to look at on their
Mhm.
phones.
Right.
Um, we will listen to kind of corporate music some, speaking of songs.
Okay, yeah.
And it's nice because they can pick the music. We can all just hook up into the Bluetooth and we can pass around the
Yep.
DJ
Fun.
MC DJ
Yep.
DJ Tanner uh
Mhm.
responsibilities. Um
Uh-huh.
Games, there is a game we like that I would really recommend, but the kid probably needs to be in their teens to play this because it's so dirty. Just kidding. Not because of
Okay.
that. Adults only game.
Yeah.
It's called What Are You Thinking? Have you ever heard of this game?
No.
Okay, you say three, two, one, and
Uh-huh.
two people say any word,
Yep.
and then you keep saying three, two, one until you say the same word. So
Mm.
the two words you're looking for, what's similar about those words? Then you say three, two, one, and both of you say what you think is the most similar about those two words, and it's
Hmm.
usually different. It usually takes about 10 tries until you get the same word.
Fun.
Super fun.
Okay.
The problem was when we played it with the boys when they were little, it was mostly poop, fart, pee, and
Right.
no matter what anybody said, if you're asking them to say one word, it's going to be poop
Right.
or butt.
Then you just turn that upside down and now it's boob.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I was going to say boob, but crack. Uh-huh.
Yep, totally.
Anyways, you're right. I do miss the I Spy years, even though it was like I spy something blue, the sky. I spy
Right.
something black, the road.
Uh-huh.
I Spy only goes so far, I guess.
Well, yeah, with littler kids, it's fun. You know what? We also do like guess like 20 questions sort of thing.
Oh,
We
sure.
do that
Yep.
a lot.
Yes, that's good.
So
I
those
like
are
20
super
questions.
fun. Those are
Yep.
super fun.
Yep. I spy something brown, poop.
Poop.
Um, okay, what else do we have? Oh, the last thing I want to talk about in here is because we're running out of time.
Yep.
Overtime. Pets.
Yep.
I have no experience in this.
Right. So
My advice probably would be you move heaven and earth so you don't have to take your pet. But you guys have
sure.
traveled with your pet a lot.
We tried that this last time.
Yeah.
Um so it's just another element. It's just
Yes.
another element. So packing
Is
for a
it the
dog.
most annoying part about having a dog to you? Because it is to me.
Oh,
Figuring out
oh,
travel.
sure. Yeah, probably.
Like I am gonna be so sad when Chewy dies. 100% sad. 99% sad. 1% happy because we can go wherever we want without finding a dog
Don't need
sitter.
to worry about it. No,
Right.
I would say the most annoying part is the hair, dude.
Oh, right.
That's the most
Yep.
annoying
You've got
part.
a shedder. Yep.
Yep.
He's a shedder.
Um
She.
yeah. Yep. Um yeah, it's just it adds also because there's different family norms. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we come to different places,
Mm-hmm.
um, we have to board her or bring her
Yeah.
along or whatever. This
Yep.
past time was rough because we actually were kind of looking forward to just leaving her at home, which
Yeah.
is what we did at Christmas with this awesome dog sitter. And then that just kind of fell through
Yep.
for some of
Yeah.
her health reasons.
Mhm.
Um, but it's also kind of fun too. Like, dude, she's friggin' fun on the road. Like, we had to
Yeah,
give her
okay.
medication so that she doesn't
I
barf.
remember she got car sick. Yeah.
hmm
Yep.
So, but we now that we solved that problem,
Uh-huh.
uh, it's just it's just fun. Like, just looking
Great.
at her, just like wagging her tail. Just like I'm
Okay.
like, you
You
can
can
sit
pet her?
down, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound fun. I mean, I think for us it's just it would be because we fly
Yep.
when we're going to Wisconsin, we just have to from the beginning, since the beginning when we got Chewy, it was we need to leave him home.
Yep. Like impossible.
No way. There's no way he
Yep.
would survive a plane ride. He'd be so stressed out.
Yeah.
Down in the bottom of that thing in a cage. Yeah, right.
Oh,
And I wouldn't do it.
totally.
I'd be so sad the whole time. So yeah, I mean that's good to hear that it's a positive for you. Um, but it does add an element of complication for sure.
Oh,
I
it
mean, I'm
totally does.
sure. Yeah.
Yep. She and like you take her on walks, which
Oh,
I always
right.
love. You like it changes the stops a lot. So like
Yep.
you usually what happens is one of us goes on a little walk
Mm-hmm.
and then one of us goes in to use the restroom and then we swap sort of thing
Okay. Yeah.
because they can't go in. Um,
Right. Yeah.
yep. So I love that.
Okay.
Um,
That's great.
yeah, dude.
Sweet. So my perfect, I would say to sum up my perfect road trip, it would be pack some snacks, but eat out,
Yes.
sit in the back seat while your kid drives,
Uh-huh.
listen to some tunes, but I don't like to necessarily be the DJ because I'm always like, do people like this? Even in my family.
Right.
I like when other people pick the music. I like going
Yep.
75 to 82 miles per hour, as many stops as we can.
Yep.
I don't sleep. I like games and I don't bring my pet. That's the perfect road trip for me.
That rules. I love it. I love all those. So we would road trip really well together, dude. 100%.
And I don't know if we ever have.
Nope. I just think we'd be laughing and we wouldn't
Yeah.
give a rip. I think that's the fun part about like it's not fun when you're on a road trip with a
Yeah.
taskmaster.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh.
You gotta relax.
Like maybe that's the whole crux of it, dude. Is like enjoy it, savor it.
Yeah.
The dude abides,
Just
you
be
know?
Jeff Bridges,
Yeah,
but
man.
don't smoke so much pot. And
No,
don't
don't
switch
don't
with
do
your
that.
friend while he's driving. And I
Don't do that.
can't believe that I forgot my main road trip, which was
Oh.
in 2017 when I drove by myself all over the West.
Oh yeah, dude. Your
So
40th
by
birthday.
far, yeah, that by far that was my longest road trip. I went all the way up to Wyoming.
Hmm.
You just sent me the picture of you and Aaron at Devil's Tower
Yeah.
because that was the main goal. That was Devil's Tower was my main goal, and then I came back around through North Dakota, down through Colorado, back to Flagstaff. 5 days of driving,
Hmm.
and I did sleep in my car at rest stops during that trip, and also camped.
Yep.
So, but that was awesome.
Beautiful.
So I loved going by myself. That was great.
A road trip by yourself, actually, dude, that sounds incredible.
It was a lot of working out timing stuff with Jessica. We had to
Sure.
both agree that we both get 5 days to ourselves. So that was a lot of work,
Yep.
but it was worth it. An amazing road trip. And I'll tell you what, my car overflowed with empty bags of Snyder honey mustard and onion pretzels because I was alone.
Uh-huh.
No bad breath worries.
Yep. Yep.
What a life it was.
Okay, I have to do that, and we have to talk Close Encounters soon. Do we have
Well,
that on the
I'm saving that for when we talk about it on Perfect Movie
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's why yeah, that's why I don't want to.
because I
Um,
have 1, 2, 3 pictures of Devil's Tower up in my office. It's a
yeah,
spiritually important place for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Um, here, let me say my last favorite thing that we've done
Yeah.
on road trips
Do it.
is looking up a it's usually Pizza Hut.
Looking up a Pizza Hut? Your favorite
Yep,
thing to do
so
on a road trip is looking up a Pizza
nope.
Hut?
a pizza place, but it's usually Pizza Hut because it's most dependable for like
I see. Yes.
you're going to be able to plan on. So we'll look ahead about
I love that
30
feature.
miles.
I love that feature on Google Maps. You can
Yep.
look on your route for pizza.
Yep.
Yep.
Pizza. And so what that's one of our favorite like one-time things on road trips
Yeah.
is ordering pies, picking them
Mm,
up when they're hot and ready, and then
that's Little
eating
Caesars.
yeah, and eating the pizza in the car while you're driving. It's so fun,
A
dude.
dream. I
It's
mean, wow. Savor.
totally
Pizza.
in a car. Yeah, it's
Your very
we
own cheese pizza.
yeah, we so that's a fun it's a non-burger type place
Mm-hmm.
when we
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of restaurants. Sometimes that's a fun added treat.
Yeah, that's great. Yep. Wow. Well, I mean, I love road trips, bro. They're
Yep.
fun.
Maybe we should because we're gonna do a mountain. Man, what if like the Gomers? I don't know what we could do.
Yeah, but we should like drive coast. We should do the Forrest Gump drive or something where we drive coast to
Wow,
coast.
because we could never run that.
No. Maybe in a lifetime. Well,
Yep.
I have run the coast to I have done the Forrest Gump run. How many times does he go
Sweet.
coast to coast?
I
I think we talked about this on the Forrest Gump
yeah,
episode. I
I
think he
think
goes
I think
once, twice, and halfway
yep, I think that's
back.
right. Because
So
he
I think
does
I'm
for sure
about
twice.
there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Man, that would be fun. A coast to coast drive. Now, age and stage, sometimes my hip hurts
Yep.
sitting
You're
there.
totally right.
And
I
so I
know.
have to
So
like stretch weird.
the 30 miler or the 30-hour one that I did or whatever that was
Yeah.
to or the 1 hour 3 days
Uh-huh.
1 day 3 hours
1 day, three
like
hours.
was I've aged out of that kind of stuff.
Yes, I agree.
Totally
Too
aged out of
long.
that.
Yep.
Too long. I think 8 hours is about what my body can handle and then I just get so antsy.
Right. The beauty of that solo trip I took was there were lots of purposeful and beautiful stops. So I went to,
Yeah.
I think, 6 national parks,
Mm,
hiked in between these things. It was part of the thing. It was part of my goal to run in more states. So I would stop and run a couple miles in certain
yep.
places.
Love it.
Um, but yeah, you're right. The 1 day, 3 hour straight shot, that's a young
Mm-mm.
man's game. Brainless.
Yep. Aged out, bro.
All right, dude. Well,
Awesome.
great app. Oh, wait. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Do you have 20 more minutes or not? Or
Yeah,
have you
sure.
hit your limit?
No,
I
yeah.
think Steven's Packing Tips is a 13.1 app we're gonna record right now.
Oh, yes. Okay, that sounds amazing.
Quality content for our
Mm,
13.1ers.
yes.
I'll put my Professor Steven hat on and I'll give you my top 3 packing tips.
Okay, I love it. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Have have a good road trip. Bye. I should really think of
Bye.
something to say at the end of these apps. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. All right, let's stop that. 1, 2, 3.